Greetings, Ashen here. Today I'm going to be doing an Indie Comics review of Sweet Paprika number 2 and 3. That's right, 2 issues for one viewing. Yes. Now, before I go ahead and review these, I just want to say that I fully recommend issue number 2 and 3. If you haven't been picking up this series, just get all 3 issues because it's a real fun read so far. It's kind of out there, it's a bit of drama, but it's all lighthearted. And if you like stuff like maybe a more mature adult version of Agretzico, that's sort of the feel I have for this with the whole business structure and the love life situation, then you're really going to like this. I love what they're doing with the world, with the demons and the angels and the story arc. Just go ahead and pick it up. Now, for these 2 issues, I am going to go through the story of both issues, but trust me, I am skipping a lot. So you want to pick these issues up and you can get the full story. I'm just kind of glancing over these. I'm leaving a lot out intentionally so that way you can pick this up and read and get the full story. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to it. So the story starts here with Dill. He's hugging his daddy dearest. That's right. His dad was trying to pick up on a young hottie, but Dill is here to ruin his fun and outshine him because, you know, of course, the father's getting up there in age a little bit, and Dill is still young and hot looking, so he's really just blowing up that situation for him. We find out that Dill is adopted, and he got all his flirtatious ways from his father. Yes. So now the story goes over to Paprika, her mother, and her father. So turns out that the father had a heart attack. That is what happened at the end of the last issue. I didn't address it, but now you get to know what's happening with that. Father's okay, but, it took him a little bit by surprise, and he's in the hospital now. What we find out from this is that Paprika's mother has remarried, and she's happily married. She has other children, and the father is just 100% dedicated to his job. He's such a hard-nosed guy that he just doesn't have anything but time for work. And he has moved all the way up the ladder. He's a very big, important person now in the court systems. After that situation resolves itself and the father is going to be sent home, we go back to Paprika's job. And at her job, her big devil boss man, as you can see here, is talking about a dinner, a important work dinner that's going to go on, and he doesn't want anything to be lame, and it's going to be very important for Paprika to go in and make everyone happy. And who we have is Burnett, and we have Za'atar, and these are the 2 big important people that are working on their future project. He's the author, and the other one is the producer. So they have to butter them up really good, and that's going to be the job of Paprika and another one of her co-workers. So very important, got to get this down, nailed, and make sure everything goes smoothly for this future production. Before she can leave and go over to this, she's stopped by Dill, who is delivering packages for the day, but he has this strange package. He doesn't even know where it came from. He doesn't remember it being in his delivery bag, so now he's going to be giving it to Paprika. Very, very strange. Has no idea where this came from. Very unusual. It's never happened to him before. But somebody must have slipped it in or something while he was delivering other packages. So we go from there to the dinner, and it turns out that Burnett is Paprika's ex. Yes, they almost got married, and she dumped him at the altar. So now she has to entertain him and his friend, the producer of the film. We go back over to Paprika's father, who is kind of being put on leave a little bit because he has been under too much stress or whatever the case is. He's always putting himself in these tough situations. It's just sort of his way of life. But the boss above him is like, dude, just go on vacation. You're going to have to go chill out. And that's the way it is. So he's sort of being forced into a vacation for his own health. But as he's thinking about all this, he looks down at a picture of his old family longingly. And even though he won't say it to anyone, there's part of him that is a little bit sad over everything that happened. And maybe he should really reconcile with Paprika. So, some stuff on his mind. Back over to the party. We have Paprika talking to Burnett, talking about how he was a nice person, and then he became manipulative and a real asshole as he gained more power with the popularity of his book and everything, and how she used to be the editor of his book, and now she's the CCO of a company. She's almost tippity top, except for the head executive guy. And he can't treat her the way that he used to. He feels like he has sort of a hold on her still, like maybe she still has some feelings for him. And it is hinted that perhaps she does have some feelings for him, especially in the beginning of the relationship. But things went wrong and she left him because he became too much of an asshole. So her friend comes over and starts entertaining Burnett. And that is when Dill gets his dingle senses tingling. Yes, that's right. He needs to borrow his father's car. So, as you can see here, he interrupts his father hitting on somebody else, another woman. This one was actually more his age, and he was getting very close. And then, oh, look at this, the love in her eyes towards Dill, how attracted she is to him. So this guy is just cock blocking his father around every turn, but he needs the car because he has to save the day. His senses are tingling. He's got to go see about Paprika. So Paprika has actually been having a very nice time sitting down and talking to Za'atar, but even though they're getting along very good, and he actually seems very happy with her, like he might be very interested in her. And trust me, she is very interested in him. And if you read this book, you'll see all about it. But once again, she self-sabotages. She pulls away. As soon as he starts getting in a bit closer to her, she can't allow that to happen. For some reason, that gap, it always closes in. And she just pulls away. And at that moment of weakness, her ex comes in, Burnett, and starts talking down to her in a subtle way, trying to let her know that... maybe perhaps she's not the best option and stuff like that. And Za'atar never would have had any real interest, and she was misreading the whole situation. So she is basically destroyed by her ex-husband, who is trying to move back in and regain control over her. He is really an asshole. And she goes crying, drunk, out into the streets. That is when Dill finds her. And she's basically saying to herself, screw it, I'm going to bang the next guy that shows me any attention because I'm so over it. I just need a good fuck, right? So he shows up. Lo and behold, the person who has been trying to get with her for a long time shows up. They go back to her place, and she is drunk off her ass. She doesn't even recognize that it's her own place. And Dill sees this, and she really wants to get down with Dill, but, here you go once again. It's his character that kind of shines through. He does love the ladies and everything like that, but since she's so drunk, she is not in her right mind. He just sort of covers her up and lays her down and lets her go to sleep, and basically says, if you wake up tomorrow and you're still interested and you're not drunk off your ass, not even knowing your own house, then 100% we can have a hookup. But until then, you get back with me, because that's not really how I roll. Anyway, there we go. We have the 2 books reviewed. It's a nice little arc. I am cutting off a bit of the end as well, just in case for anyone who read this, because I did not want to spoil the explosive stuff that happens at the very end that is going to set up the next issue. I really like this story. I like the interplay of the characters. They feel very human, and I just overall enjoy this. The humor is kind of like a subtle humor. You don't laugh out loud a lot about it, but there actually was 2 scenes in here that made me just laugh my ass off when I saw them, especially because, Dill kept cock blocking his father. I just thought that was hilarious, especially the second time where he looks like some kind of freaking monster on the window of the car. I mean, I lost it there. And there was one other sequence, and I'll let you find that for yourself. But so high recommendation. I'm definitely going to be picking up the next issue. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Yes.